Alright, welcome back. Now that we have declared and defined variables, let's actually use that knowledge to execute different statements in our program. And to do that, we'll use if statements. Okay, so we'll create a new class. We'll start over. Let's create a new class inside our basics package. And I'm going to call this class weather. Okay, I'm going to hit finish. Alright, now let's again write our public static void main string args. Okay, so this application, so this program will give suggestions of what to wear based on the weather, based on the climate. Okay, and so we'll say the temperature. Okay, so based on the temperature, the program will give different suggestions. So let's create a variable, integer temperature, and then whatever the value of that variable is, we're going to have different output. So our flow will look like this. So if we'll say temperature is greater than 80, then we'll say something like it's pleasant wear shorts and t-shirt. Okay? Now it's throwing an error because it's trying to test the value of temperature, but we never defined it. So let's say temperature is 85. Okay, so 85 is greater than 80. When we run this, we're going to see it's pleasant wear shorts and a t-shirt. Okay, so let's say it was 65. Okay, if we run this, nothing's going to happen because 65 is less than 80. This will evaluate to false, and then there's nothing that happens after that if statement. Now, if we want to test multiple conditions, we can say else if temperature is greater than 60, then we'll say system.out.print. We'll say it's a little cooler. Perhaps wear a long sleeve shirt and jeans, we'll say. Okay, now if we run this, because temperature is 65, then this statement is executing as well. Okay, now we have an if, we have an else if, and then finally, what if it's, say, 20 degrees? So we don't want to keep having these different conditions for each set, so we can just say else. So if it's basically less than 60, right? Because if it's anything more than 80, this will execute. If it's anything less than 60, then nothing executes. So if it's below than 60, we will say system.out.print. We'll just say looks like a cold day. Bring a sweater. We'll just say bring a sweater. Okay. And we run that, and there we go. Okay, so this should be pretty basic to us, right? We define our variable here, and then we're going to basically test this condition later on. Now, if statements can have a lot of variety here. So let's say we want to test the temperature and sun condition. So let's say we have a string sun condition, and we'll say it is sunny. Okay, so what if it's, we'll say, what if it's 60, what if it's 80, let's see here, what if it's 60, and sun condition equals sunny. We want to say equals. Okay, so this is one expression. So temperature is greater than 60 is one expression. Oops. Okay, so this will evaluate either true or false, and then this is another expression, sun condition equal to sunny. That's a second condition. So for this to evaluate to true, then both this expression and this expression need to be true because of this operator and. So we'll say that statement's fine, and we'll also print out here wear a hat to block the sun, or something like that, or to wear a hat to keep the sun out of your eyes. Okay, So if we want to test if this is true, then let's change this to like something like 65, where we know the temperature is greater than 65 and the sun condition is sunny. So let's see if this executes it true. There we go. Okay. But again, what if, for example, what if the sun condition is overcast? Well, then we say, looks like a cold day, bring a sweater. So we don't have a way where we can handle that scenario. So let's say else if, we'll say temperature is greater than 60. We'll say else temperature is greater than 50. We'll say or sun condition is equal to overcast. Okay, so we'll do system.out.print, and we'll say this is a cool day. Make sure to wear warmer clothes. Okay, so this statement, either one of these needs to be true. So first it will test if this, so how if statements will work. If this violates the truth, then we execute this, and then we skip down then to the end of the program. We'll say system out, just to show you the program is ending. Okay, so once it executes the first statement, it'll execute that block, and then it'll skip down to after this block is over. So let's see here. It's 65 and overcast. So that's going to fail this because 65 is less than 80. Our next if statement, 65 is greater than 60, but the sun condition is not equal to sunny. So this will not execute. And in this case, 65 is greater than 50 and the sun condition is overcast. So let's change this to 45, right, just to show the difference here. So there we go. So here we see the difference between the and or operators, as well as evaluating multiple conditions inside an if statement. So ifs are very versatile. You can add a lot of things. You can test if something is equal to, just like this. With two equal signs, you can test if something is not equal to by using the exclamation point. So the if statement is really versatile. You can have many conditions inside your statements. And so be familiar with how to use an if statement and the different relational operators and comparative operators. So we'll see you in the next tutorial. We'll talk about a different kind of control statement with this switch statement.